And we're back.
Hello, everyone.
We just finished. We're so tired. We just finished. Do you remember when we started this and I pointed this?
I think it was 2019.
Yes. Orléans Stories, the First Kingdom.
Welcome, Leo. Links for the overview and first round and links for the full playthrough. The feature-length movie that is our playthrough of Orléans Stories are in the description. Links
we grew up while playing it.
Right.
I was a twink when we started. Anyhow.
All right. So first of all, we need to mention that this is our first playthrough.
And last.
But it's our first. So I couldn't really say that this is a review coming from me. I don't know. It's first impressions. Just to be fair.
You guys take it for what it is. Because I'll be honest, I doubt there's enough replayability here for someone to play this hundreds of times and then review it thoroughly for balance.
And we have been playing
Orléans.
Both similar games and Orléans and enough board games for us to be able to review this.
All right, whatever. So just for the integrity's sake, this was our first playthrough of this.
Okay, you want me to start?
Sure,
So we played a lot of Orléans. I don't define it as one of the burnt games, i.e. he's done with it. And it's not because it's a bad game, he's done with it because we played it so much and so thoroughly that he wants to move on to other things.
Yeah,
so
I think you guys own all expansions, all mini expansions.
Aggressive and he doesn't like it.
No, we got the aggressive. We didn't get the cooperative one.
And maybe between the three of us, we own all of them.
You have the cooperative one?
I think so. Maybe I bought a bunch of them.
Okay.
So Orléans is something that we used to bring a lot to the table when we have people who are capable of heavy games, but haven't quite developed a taste for them yet, because it's really fun. It's fairly simple, but it clicks quickly for people. And once you get to the middle of the game, everyone on the table already has a strategy, even if that's their first time playing. So Orléans is fantastic. This one was just wow, so much time was wasted, so little return on investment on our time. But let's start with art and components.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, sure, I'll go. I don't like the art for base Orléans, so this is pretty much the same. It's very similar. I think it's functional. I'd be happy if they spent a bit less on the art and a bit more on having all the information that you need, because if you have a booklet for your game, you're probably doing something wrong and there's a way to optimize things. No one wants to take out a booklet in the middle of their playthrough.
I wonder if they did that because they want to keep some of the components for future stories while changing things in the booklet, but just a theory.
You have the cards for the flavor text, which I'm not against. It's a one-time event whenever something is unlocked. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Honey?
Oh, we're doing the. I don't have a problem with the art at all. Maybe because I grew accustomed to it. I second what you said about not wanting to go through a booklet. And I think that the map grows, which is nice. You build stuff. And I think maybe they could have shrunk the market board a little bit for board size space, but other than that, I think it's as minimum. It's a small of table presence as it could be, and it's a table hogger to some extent. I think. I don't see how 4 players could play on this table, and especially with all the deeds.
Oh yeah.
And okay, so that's art, Leo. Arts and components.
Arts and components. True to the original Orléans. I don't really mind the original art. I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's okay. It's functional. The boards are, I think they're good size, actually. I think our table is just a little bit small, but it does it it fulfills a function. Everything is kind of in place. I get why it's there. Other than that, not really much to write home about.
Yep.
It's okay. It's an okay art.
Okay.
So in terms of
Replayability,
mechanics, replayability.
Playability, variability.
Okay, so one of the things that I really like about Base Orleans is that there are multiple small races. The citizens are a big deal, and you only get them in specific spots on the tracks that you advance by getting the professionals, by getting the followers. So there's this flow where you get followers, so you can get the bonuses, but those shape your strategy, and then you choose your buildings accordingly, and the whole thing just kind of flows. And that's completely missing here. You have one big ass race for the winner, and that is it. Everything else is just restrictions. And I'm not a fan of that, to be completely honest. I feel like this game is intended for people who will read the booklet preliminarily and then see when the resources come in and which actions are restricted in which age, and then plan their entire 4-hour playthrough in advance. And that's just not me. I don't enjoy that type of gameplay. I also think that severely damages replayability, because the only thing that actually changes between playthroughs is the location of the thingies.
Of the areas, yeah.
Of the areas, and that's, to me, not enough. But I don't know. The biggest issue for me was the massive race. It was too long, way too long, and the events here felt way too restrictive. Go on.
I agree on the race. I don't like race games. I don't like most race games. What I really didn't like here is that the game basically tells you falsely. It falsely tells you you can strategize however you want. It's even kind of written in the rule book, and it's you look at things and you say, all right, I can focus on 2 areas and maybe win by era 6, but you can't really, because you need to cross off a church, which is only unlocked at era 7, and you have to go through all of this, get to the plague, and then maybe you can win, which is just a waste of a good race. It could have been a better race for people who like that. I think this is like I'll say it more than once during this review, it's the worst of a couple of worlds. Like, it takes everything that's bad about the original Orleans, which is repetitiveness and kind of too long a game, and combines it with the worst thing about games like Rise of Queensdale, which is
A legacy game.
Legacy games that change very small things between games. And by the time you get to the last one, you look at the first one and say, all right, I went a long way, but every game is exactly like the one before. And the eras, not too different. It's the same. You move from the second era to the third, and like, oh, the bonuses are a little bit different. But I'm doing the exact same thing. They could have been much more creative with these. Not allowing you to do more actions each era, forcing you to maybe discard some of these between eras, or give you more buildings that you can only use in specific eras and whatnot. I think it's a waste of potential. So I didn't like most of it, I think, beside the bag building, which Orléans did well, and this just copied, obviously.
Yeah, so I think that what they're trying to do with, talking about replayability specifically, I think that what they're trying to do is build several stories, and for each game you sort of pick a story which feels maybe like an expansion, so you get like these both modules and then you can pick each one. I think that, but other than, we'll talk about gameplay and mechanisms in a second, and we'll talk about race and elimination and so on, but variability, there's not a lot, because this is the exact same thing, and the only thing that matters is this, and there's not a lot of replayability here. I could say that there's a bit of, I don't know even how to say it, like there's negative replayability in the sense that...
You know what's coming.
Exactly. So it reduces replayability in some wondrous way. Gameplay mechanisms and final thoughts?
Whatever Orleans did well, this one also does well. It just not as well. So I still like the bag building. I still like having my own specialized family and then getting buildings with passives and actives and stuff like that. Still enjoy it. I just feel like if this was an hour and a half,
yeah,
I would be much more forgiving towards it.
Mm-hmm.
But 2.5 hours of doing pretty much the exact same thing is just... Ugh.
Okay.
I have nothing else.
Yeah, I think I've said most of it before. It's super repetitive. There's nothing changes. You do the exact same actions. It just copied Orléans, which is obviously it's from the same designer, from the same company, I think. So it's not like they copied it.
Yeah.
It's just that they used the same mechanics that worked well and added a lot on top of it that didn't make any sense to me. That's it. It's just a bad experience.
Yeah. So I think,
You're looking for something nice to say?
No, I'm not. I'm sort of creating a list of points that I want to say. First, I don't understand the market for this because heavy Euro, but race or elimination and attacking and like very negative player interaction, that's weird. Like it crosses a lot of points, and I don't know like what's the
people who want another bag building game because there aren't many
but
out
they're
there.
Okay with all the negative player interaction.
No,
and
they'll buy it.
They'll buy it.
They'll buy it.
No, fine. Assuming that they bought it, fine.
And they've played some legacy games, and some of them enjoyed it, and they wish they could replay a legacy game. The feel you get when you play for 3 or 4 hours in a semi-changing world.
Yeah. But my point is that it's not a legacy game. It's not a one-off thing. You're not supposed to play one-off thing. There are no...
We will.
No, we will, but it's not built into the thing, right? It's not literally a legacy game or a story game.
I think that more heavy Euro gamers like race games than you think.
And we're back. Technical difficulties and food.
Food is nice.
Food is very nice.
But no technical difficulties with the food, though.
Yes.
No.
Not yet.
All right, so my final thoughts here are that... yes, there are many aspects of this game that I don't like. I don't like the race. In general, not just in this game. I don't like races. I don't like player eliminations. I don't like negative player interactions. I don't like the length. And I don't like the pseudo legacy game, right? Yeah. I don't like the fact that I need to learn because I'm a Eurogamer, and it's not a one-time thing, and it's not a cooperative experience. So I should know what's coming up.
I don't like that. Unlike the original Orleans, when let's say the monks run out, I know the monks ran out. I don't like having to think about in 3 eras there are going to be more monks.
Yeah,
I need to prepare for that in a game that shouldn't have me prepare for anything. I shouldn't know everything in advance.
Yeah, so I think that they try to make it, again, story-driven and experience-driven, but if you want to win, and so, I don't know, it contradicts to some extent. So in any case, that's the main thing that I wanted to mention. The other thing is that it makes me really appreciate Glenmore, where they said, okay, we have a core mechanism, people like it, now let's build around it and make it... I mean, Glenmore, just like this, added a new board, right? And it felt more cohesive. It felt a little bit more minimized and subtle, and so the experience is better. I mean, I like Glenmore 2 more than Glenmore 1.
And this will not replace base
This-
game Orléans.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it aims to. I mean, it's too big for anybody to start with. People could start with Glenmore too, not have to think about it. So it's not its aim, but it's sort of like you said. It created a category that bunches up a whole lot of ideas from legacy games.
Yeah, it's 2018 ideas with 2011 look with, I don't know,
it doesn't gel.
10-year-old mechanisms.
Yeah, it just doesn't gel.
True.
And again, elimination in Euro games, that's crazy. I can't get over it. But I don't know, maybe the new stories will be better because I do understand the need to create experiences that are just a set of modules that you turn on. That makes sense. But you need to provide good modules for that to happen. I mean, I
don't see the stories as modules. I disagree. They're not modules.
I don't know what can they do with it. Remove the race, give end game goals.
No, but the second story that we didn't play doesn't have a race. It has player elimination, which is just as bad. I get it, but we haven't played it, so we don't know how bad the elimination is. Maybe you can just breeze through it, and you'll never feel the elimination. Maybe there's a variant you can use.
a lot of maybes. I'm just saying that
the winner? The winner is the one that was not eliminated.
we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. Maybe
Okay,
it's VP.
sure.
We don't know. So, in any case,
We'll try it in quarantine.
a bit
Or
disappointing.
in hell.
In any case, a bit disappointing because I was looking forward to extending Orleans as a game, and that's it.
If I can say one thing positive, these were kind of okay. Like if base game Orleans had something like
Right.
these where you flip them and then they're reset and then they change mid-turn, that would have
Yeah.
been nice.
Yeah, they do. They don't. I mean, base Orleans in terms of replayability is just the fact that you have a lot of buildings and sometimes you.
Very.
Yeah. All right.
At least the pencils are nice.
The
And
pencils
you
are
can stuck them
great.
up your eye if you really need to.
All right.
And yeah, so that's a no from pretty much all three of us. And tell us your thoughts. Were you looking forward to this?
Yeah.
If you did look forward to it and get it, what did you think of the game?
Anything else?
Yeah, links in the description
in
to
the
the first
description.
round and the Oh Dear God feature-length playthrough.
Yes. And with that, we bid you adieu.
Good night.
Bye.